Hello YouTube. So from the thumbnail and the title you've seen I bought a car. Now I haven't said what car it is in the title, and I'm going to hide it in the thumbnail because you might not even watch any longer if you see what I bought. But stick with me, hopefully it's going to be a good one, right? I bought this car, it's got a problem, we've got to fix it. I think I can fix it. I've been speaking to people and no one seems to know what the problem is exactly, but that's going to be task this video. We're going to get into it, we're going to fix it, but let me show you what car I bought. Alright, so don't switch off now, right? Come on now, stick with me. We bought ourselves another blue Fiesta ST. Now, I'll be honest, I would have preferred another colour, but blue it is, that's what we got, that's what we're working with. So like I said, it's not running right, it's got a problem, it's got zero power. This is something I picked up on when I went for the test drive. Everything was looking fine. I mean, the car has got a history. It has got a history. It's category write off. It's got stolen on his record, so it's by no means a clean car. But went for a test drive, and the first thing I noticed was the car, it had no power in it. But just before that, when the lad started it up, I heard a noise from the intake, like a hissing noise. It wasn't normal. I'm going to get you to listen to that now, and you'll be able to see it. That's not what they should sound like, right? It definitely rung alarm bells. So when we went for the test drive, car drove smooth, lovely. I was happy with everything, but once he put his foot down, I could tell something was wrong. Since I've drove it home, it's flat. The turbo doesn't boost at all, in my opinion. I'm pretty sure I think I know what the problem is, and I think I know why we get a noise through the intake, and I think it's fixable. I'm hoping that I can do it without buying any parts. I do have a spare turbo in the house if need be, but will it come to that? We'll have to see. So this is a quick look around the car then, right? So pretty curved wheels to be expected, but overall the bodywork's not too bad. Now it was hit and damaged in this side door, and I can see it has been painted. There's little niggles, like the trim there needs sticking on. I can see that it's had some paint work, but overall it's not bad. I mean, I can't find any significant damage on it, and I think it was done when it was stolen. Yeah, it's not too bad at all. We got a scratch here, little minor things like that. This window's been smashed and covered up with some plastic at some points, just needs cleaning up. And inside's pretty decent. ST3. It's got the optional parking sensors, so got cruise control. So this is one I'm going to keep. It's going to be the wife's daily again. Yeah, so what I'm going to do now, plug 4 scanning, we can have a look at that. Actually, I'll start it up first, and I'll let you listen to the intake noise, right? Now there's a few key things that I noticed. It idles high, so we'll fire him up. So the idle on these should be around about 750. So this one idles, it's just under 1,000. Actually, it's dropped. Go and prove me wrong, go on. Right, so it's been idling around about 1,000. So let's give it a rev. It's typical, isn't it? When you do a video on something, it'll prove you a liar. Now it's idling slightly under 1,000, right? What if it's randomly fixed itself? Right, so what I'm going to do, I'll pull the bonnet and I'll see if you can hear the intake noise. Right, I don't know if we can pick up on that on camera, but I can hear it from here now. Can you hear it? Let's pull the bonnet. So this might be really hard to pick up on, but it's sucking in a noise with that air filter. When we get back home after we do the log, I'll probably unbolt the filter and you can have a listen, but definitely straight away there's something wrong. Now I have bore scoped this engine, cylinders are fine. I don't expect it to be an engine issue, and that's one of the reasons why I really wanted it, because the cylinders are not cracked and it's in perfect condition. So yeah, let's do a data log. So I'm expecting to see little to no boost, and then we'll get home and try and fix it. Right, so as you can see now, the idle is up a little bit higher, right? So that hissing noise is unmetered air, and that's why it's idling high. So what that means is it's getting air from somewhere else, and it's not registering through the MAF sensor. So because the MAF sensor is not seeing this extra air that's going into the engine, the idle is going up a bit. So here's my theory straight away before we plug in and do anything. This is what I think is wrong with it. I'm 99% convinced that the dump valve is stuck open. So any air the turbo's trying to build and pressure is blowing it straight out, and it's getting pumped back into the intake. So that noise you're actually hearing is the turbo just sort of idle spool, just getting churned back into the intake. That is my theory. But look at that now, the idle now is at 1,000, and I mean temperature's hotter than a couple of miles, and it should never be like that. So yeah, let's plug in 4scan down there and let's get it logged. Right, so just plug 4scan in. I don't know if you can see that, but we've got a P2279 intake air system leak bank 1. So that kind of points to what I've been saying, so I'm still hopeful it's gonna be that. So what I'll do now, I'll run a log and we'll see how exactly it goes. Now it's not putting an EML light on for that, which is unusual. I said it's not on at this point, and it says it's intermittent at the time of request. So all we can do is log it and see how it goes. Right, so here's the plan, and I'm gonna give it a pull in second gear if we can get a smooth, quiet bit of road, which might be unlikely. I have no intention of thrashing it or anything, so I think a pull in second gear will be more than adequate. Right, so here we go then, see what second gear does. Oh, it's so slow, look at that. Yeah, that is slow. She's slow, people, she is slow. Right, so here's a log, and it's pretty much as I expected. This is boost, look. So you see 1.29, we're going to take 1 bar off for atmospheric, right? So we're at 0.29 of boost. It's a third of a bar of boost. So I'm going to look through the other stuff as well. I'm just looking at like MAF reading. The MAF GS is 117, so it's definitely a problem. Nothing surprises me here. This is exactly what I expected. Let's go home, let's see what we can do with it. Right, so air filter is off, standard air filter, everything's standard on here, so that should sound pretty loud hissing through there now. So let's fire them up. Yeah, I'm expecting to hear a big difference in the way that sounds now. Yeah, so if we had an open cone and we had this problem, that's just going to sound like that. You can't miss that now. Definitely a problem. Right, so I've been speaking to Jordan from H-Sport, right, and he said to me, pull off this pipe, see if that's making a noise. That's the EVAP purge valve thing, right? Guess what? It's screaming loud. That is the cause. So it's not the DV. I was thinking, how is that losing boost pressure, not picking up boost? But it's because it's plumbed in to the cold side, obviously. So any boost pressure is trying to build up to go to the engine is getting evacuated out of there, and that's why we're hearing it blowing through there. So it's that. So the moral of the story, people, listen to people who are more experienced than you. Do you know I've had 4 of these now, all blue. Never had this problem with any of them. But funny enough, my nephew, William, the white Fiesta you've seen me work on, he sent me a video a couple of weeks ago where his started making this noise, and it randomly just fixed itself. So yeah, what I'm contemplating now is where to take the pipe system off my car, put it onto this, just so I can complete the video, because I don't have that part. So obviously I don't want to leave you without a conclusion. The other thing is as well, would you like to see me do a stage 1 remap on this? Obviously I can do it. I done one on Will's car. I didn't show you any of the details in the mapping, but I fancy doing a video where I just go through everything, show you all the changes I make. If you want to see that, let me know, because I've got my own car to tinker with now. Right, so I took the airbox out, and this is the part now. If you basically just follow all of the pipes to where they are, you can just unplug them. Some of them are a bit tricky and awkward, but you can get it done. So I'm going to pull this out, firstly inspect it and see if there's anything visibly wrong with it, or is there an electronic part in that valve, or maybe that piece there. There's another one there. One of them is leaking, that's what we know. But anyway, get them out now, see if there's anything we can do with it, or does it have to be changed. Right, so looking at this, right, I don't know exactly how it works, but that's kind of how it goes in the car, right? So what I've done is I've connected some pipes up and tried to find where the valves are not working. So if I connect in there, air won't pass through. So from above the throttle body, it's not letting air pass there. Where it's coming from is from the connection down in the cold side. See, the booster's blowing up, it's bypassing that, coming straight into the intake. So looking at this is got an arrow going that way. I'm assuming there's some kind of diaphragm in here to keep this separated from there. So is it an actual valve in there, or does that control pressure to blow on that to seal that? But I definitely think the fault, part at fault is this. It's not sealing and stopping the air coming from cold side back up to the intake. But like I said, I don't know if this plays a part in controlling the vacuum and the pressure in you to seal that off. I could just chuck another one on off the other car, but I'm thinking, you know, I'm going to tinker with it and see if I can do a fix. So I've done a Pro WD-40 down there, see if I freeze it up, because I'll get another one anyway. But if this don't work now, I will swap the one off the other car. I should spare you the boring details. That one didn't work. Taking the one off my car, so chuck that on now, see if that fixes it. I think you have it. Our one is all clipped in. I'm going to leave the airbox off because we can identify the sound. Oops, better put this button on actually. What I'm going to do now is start it up. Hopefully it sounds normal. Alright, so here we go then. Unless I forget to plug something in, you never know. Silence! That's what it is. Oh, let's go and have a listen. Well, don't know if you're picking that up on camera, but that was it. There really is a moral of the story here. Listen to Jordan from Page Sport. Never lets me down that, but I tell you, if you've got a problem with your car, go to H Sport. The man's a genius. Right, so first thing I've done now is I put 4Scan back on. We've got no cords, so that's a good sign. Just going to take it out now, get it warmed up, and do ourselves a data log. I would expect to see some boost now, so let's give it a go. Right, so straight away now this car is just, it's more responsive. I can feel the turbo coming on boost. Don't get me wrong, it's not rapid compared to my car, but it feels like an ST should be standard. That's so much better. The one good thing is, right, it's been so low on power. How long has it been like that? Well, this engine's had an easy life if that's the case, if it's been driven for any length of time. But like I said, I bore scoped the engine and there's no cracks in the cylinders, and I'll tell you what, that's becoming a big problem on these cars. I speak to Jordan a lot from H Sport. Phone ringing just back, but there was him. He was speaking about some parts and stuff. So yeah, and he's seeing a lot of them when he's doing his engine test now, so it is becoming a problem. It's part of the reason why I wanted it as well, even though it was a Cat S, even though it had a stolen on its record. I thought, you know, that engine is solid and bog standard, not a single mod on the car, and that's hard to find. That's getting rare now, and I can tell it's not the case if it's been put back to stock. It's it is got a standard history on it. So what we're going to do in a minute now, I need to get a good third gear log. We're going to run it out, and then I'll come back and share the data with you. Right, so here we go then. Third gear, let's let it run out. Compared to my car, not gonna lie, but at least it's pulling okay. Not bad in second, not bad. Right, so the data log is good actually. Let me show you what we got here. Right, so I'm hoping there's not too much reflection you can see, but anyway, boost, right, we've hit 1.3 bar peak, which is fine for standard. Ignition timing up to 16.5 degrees in pink air. Boost tailing off to like 1.8 bar. No, 0.8 of a bar. Actually, sorry, not 1.8. Right at the top end. That's fine. MAF peaked at 150. Fine for standard. Oh, excuse me, damn COVID. AFR is bang on. The fuel pump is bang on. Everything. And if we go to temperatures, I mean, intake temp is 26 degrees, which is kind of what you expect on a standard intercooler. Cat temps are okay. Pretty happy with that. That's a good running standard car. Again, thank you so much, Jordan. I should have just listened to you in the beginning instead of thinking it was the dump valve. But, you know, get these ideas in my head, don't I? But we fixed that's the main thing. I'm now down an EVAP pipe for the other Fiesta. So I'm going to get that. I'm not going to put it back on that car. Might as well just get a new one for that now and replace that. God grief. Anyway, if you want to see me remap this car, then let me know. Like I said, I'll make a video on it. It might be a couple of weeks. So I've got a few things to sort out and I've got to find some time. So it might be a couple of weeks, but I think we will. But I'm definitely going to map it. But it's whether you want to see me video the process and show you how it's done. And I think some people like it. Some people might find it boring. But there you are. Right. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. See you on the next one. And bye.